Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. Really do appreciate it. So I did say I was going to be having a play with the Decolarge Season's Greetings this time, and I decided to start with this cute car. So a little mini there. I've got some snowfall acetate, and I've already put 1mm pads all over the decoupage itself. So I'm going to pop that to the side a second. Let me just take the lids off my glues because I haven't done that yet. And I'm going to bring in my usual 6x12 card blank or piece of card. I have this is the 300 GSM white cardstock. Okay, so let's get started with it. So I'm going to score at 4, and then I'm going to turn that around just because I've got the shorter board, and I'm going to score at 2 and at 4. So if you've got the 12-inch board, all you'll need to do is score at 4, 8 and 10. Okay, so let's pop that out of the way. We can give these a good brownish down. So it is making a stepper card. Oh, I know what I needed to cut. That was what I was going on my little brain. I needed to cut the acetate. Oh, we can do that next. That's not a problem. Okay, so this is the card as it is at the moment. So it's 4x6. When we finish, or when I finish, it's going to be 6x6 though, because we're going to put the acetate on top. So let's pop that to the side and bring the trimmer in. So I'm going to start by bringing that acetate in, and I'm going to cut that at just under 6 inches. And obviously keep that piece for something later on. It's bound to come up. Now I don't think this is going to be 12 inches long, so what I'll do is I will score it at 6 inches, and the shorter side I will put on the back because that will be hidden. Okay, and this topper has got silver foil in, so I'm going to use silver foil for the mats. So I'm going to pick that glue up before it goes all over my desk. So I'm going to start on my first mat being 2 notches under the 4 and 2 notches under the 6. And that should fit on my back step, like so. And then this one I'm going to cut down to 2 notches under the 2 and 2 notches under the 6. So if you're not sure what I mean by sorry, excuse me, by a notch, it's 1 notch is 1/16. So 2 notches are 2/16 or 1/8. So on my trimmer, actually leave that in there, might show it better. If I bring that up near the camera, and you can see I've got markings. I've got a smaller mark and a larger mark, smaller mark, larger mark. So my 2 notches is the second marking. Okay, so that's just what I mean by that. Let me just pop those bits to the side because those we won't need. Actually, I will need another piece because I want to do a piece for the back, and I'm going to do that at am I going to do 4? Yeah, let's do 4. 2 notches under the 4, and I can cut it down smaller if I'm not happy with it when the time comes. So this is going to go on the outside. I'm just thinking of something on the outside to hide all the workings of the acetate. Okay, so I'm going to bring my scored board back in briefly. And I'm just going to score that at the 6-inch mark. And I'm going to give that a little bit of a brownish down. Okay, so you can see it's just a tiny bit smaller, and we'll do that bit on the back, so it's not going to be a problem. So I need the trimmer again. I forgot the other layers. I don't know what's happening with my brain today. So I'm going to start by cutting a piece that's 5 and 3/4, and then I'm going to take a piece that's 3 3/4. That's going to go onto that mat there, and then I'm going to take another piece that's 3 3/4, and that's going to hide our piece on the back. And then this piece again I need to cut down to 5 3/4. I'm trying to keep as much of the car as I can, so I'm just chopping away this little bit of tree. And then what I need to do is just make a mark at 1 3/4. I don't think I need to, so that's fine, because what I'm going to do is cut around these trees. Okay, so by cutting around the trees I'm going to get the border that I want anyway. So I'm just roughly going around, not going around sort of into each sort of branch, but just trying to get the general sort of shape of those trees. Going around, and I use a knife if you find the scissors better, obviously. Go around with those. I'm just making sure I make contact with those points. Go around these presents. And what I'll do once I've cut round all of these, I'll just go around the edges with either a ball tool or something with a rounded lid. Just go across there. I'm not doing these behind trees, so it's just the foreground trees. Yeah, and I'll just go around it with a rounded ball tool or something, just to flatten these edges down, because what I find by using a knife, the edges tend to be quite a crisp cut and it can look quite harsh. But if I go around them gently with a ball tool, it just squashes them under, a bit like a die cut. It has that is neat rounded sort of edges. Okay, so let's see if we can put this out. Okay, so we've got a spare piece there, and if I just grab on, I've got this huge one here, so I'm just going to go around, press all those edges down, and it just kind of makes the edges look, actually let's go that slightly smaller, less sort of a harsh line. Okay, so it just looks a little better than it did. Okay, so now we can think about assembling. So my plan originally was to have the topper, let me grab this topper, on the outside, but since I started making it I was then thinking about putting it on the inside. So let me just work out if that's what I want to do or not. This one is going on the front, so that's going on the outside. So it's going to look like there's two cars. Let me just see how high that acetate goes once it's down. Yeah, I think it's going to be better on the front. Maybe not, maybe behind. This is what happens when I second guess myself all the time. Obviously we're going to put some decoupage on this as well. Yeah, I'll put it on the inside. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just come in with some red liner tape, just make sure I don't lose any of those, and on the back of the card, find the end, and I'm just going to pop a bit that far up, just making sure I don't go too close to these ends here, because obviously we're going to have edges on our mat, and I'm going to pop a bit on the top as well, just to make sure we get that definition right. That's stuck down quite nicely. And then what I'm going to do is just fold that over, and then if I put that the wrong way round, so I know my acetate needs to go on the bottom of there, so I'm just lining the front side up with my card. And then I can go ahead, press down, and even though it's trickier, I can just get my hand in there and release that. Okay, so that's going to go onto there quite nicely. Okay. So I'm not going to do the sticking on that yet, because obviously I want to do these bits inside. So I'm just going to flex that back, and this is the piece that's going in there. So I'm just going to use my usual glue. So in this clear dispenser I've got Collall all-purpose glue, and in this one I've got Collall tacky. I'm just going to drop that in to position, and I really don't need to look at the bottom of it, just want to make sure it's nice and straight at the top. Okay, and then same again with this one here. I'm going to pop that one in as well. Just give it a nice press down just to make sure that glue makes contact and sticks. And then this one, just going to pop some tacky glue along the bottom, just to give me that little bit of wiggle room time. I just want to make sure I'm just under where that folds, so that it's not pulling it forward. So that's going to go on like so. Yeah, I think we're about in the right place there. Okay, back again. Just make sure I've got plenty of contact on there. Make sure it's nice and straight as well. Okay, so now I can come in with some of my layers. So I'm going to take this one. Let's just see how that lies over there. With that one, obviously I'll have to trim that off. And then that one we'll put on the front, this one will go on the back, and this one, and some of the presents, and I think a wreath, and the rest will do on the front. Okay, so let's just whip the backs off here, and these are all 1mm pads, like I said earlier. You can go 2mm if you want it heftier. I like just a little graduation, but you know, if you've only got 2mm pads, it's still going to look fantastic. Let's just get that one off. So a little bit of tacky glue. just to give me a little bit of wiggle room time, and then I can go ahead line that up with the bottom piece there. This first bit should fit on over the top perfectly, and just keep an eye out for sort of any landlocked areas like those two were. Just make sure you give those a little poke to get them out, and it's harder to see from the front because of the print, but when you turn it over you can usually just see a little line there to indicate that there's something that needs to be just popped out. Oops. So, and again, this one we should be able to pretty much line it up with the bottom. Just make sure we're the right way, left or right. See, like here we've got 3 bits to pop out. That's 2 bits. They're joined in the middle, and just be careful that you don't rip anything. I can be a bit rough with these sometimes. So just working my way through these layers. Oops, I did take that off. Didn't look like it had a... There we go. So now we've got just our car. And then we've got our bonnet. Just working through. That's on there, so that's part of the mud guard. Let's pop through. So I've just got this bit on the wreath that goes on the front. Although I don't know how far I would have driven with that wreath on the front, but I don't think I'll be able to do that in my car. Well, not around here anyway. It wouldn't be there when I went back, let's put it that way. Okay, so I think that goes like that. And then these presents are on the bottom there. Pop those. Oops. Like that. And then there's this little one. Here. It's my tweezers. Oops. There we go. Okay, I'm happy with that. So then the next thing I'm going to do, because that's the layers that I'm using on there. So actually I think what I'm going to do is put my silver layer on first, and then, no I won't, because let's do it the same way I've done the back. Just, it's going to have a better finish if I do it that way, I think. So again, I'm just going to pop 2 bits on, give them a good burnish down. That, and that. Pop that in the bin. Just put a little bit of tacky glue in there. Just going to fold that up. Hopefully not going to move my presents. And then we're just going to bring that down like that. You can see that the present's moved again. So I'm just going to go in, straighten that up. Okay, so there is the start of our card. So this piece here, because I'm going on to that acetate again, I'm going to pop some on the top and the bottom of here. We'll put some tacky glue on as well. Give that a good press down. And I am going to fold these over. Tacky, and there especially. And what I can do is just line up this bottom part there, pop it down, and then take those strips off. Just give it a little bit of a press. Okay. These presents do seem to have settled now. Okay, so before I pop this bit on, what I'm going to do is build up my decoupage, which will also give that a bit of time to set as well. So I'm just going to grab my pencil, just going to line this up pretty much where it needs to be. Then I'm just going to make a little cut line there. I don't think it's going to affect any of the other pieces. So if I just bring my trimmer in, and I'm just going to line up in front of those, and then hopefully we should be pretty much on the bottom, like so. Okay, so let's just get rid of that one. So now we can go ahead and build up on here. So it's just the same thing as before, just pulling these pads off and going ahead and popping those on. Okay, so I've got those bits off. Let's have a bit of tacky glue. Give myself a little bit of wiggle room time. And then we just want to line up the presents first on the back of that car. That's there. Then I can push these bits out. So we've got the larger bit of car. Got some presents again. We've got our grill. Got the front of our car. Oh, doesn't want to come out. Just being a little bit gentle with it because it is a smaller piece. And then we've got our two little headlights, 1 and 2. I think that is everything. So let's get rid of our windscreen. Those under there, and wiggle room time. So just have to line up those tyres and the roof. And if you didn't want to cut this bit at the bottom, you could just go straight to this layer. I mean, even if you just had one layer on it, it would look nice. Not sure what's happened there. Oh, it's got a bit of card from where it came out, a bit rough. Okay. So that's just going over the front. Like so. And then we've got more on the front. There we go, a bit tacky. And that just goes over. Just have to use my tweezers with this piece. Let's turn that round. There. And see that way round for it. Okay, and then last but not least, we have our presents. Sorry, just taking those back a bit further. Again with the squirty glue, and if I turn the whole thing round, I can pop that onto there where I want that to be. And those ones there have stopped moving, so that is perfect. So now I can think about going ahead and putting that on, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give that decoupage a little bit of time to set, and then I'm going to come round to the back of this card. Let's pop that down, and if I grab this super sticky again, and this is just because this mirror card is going onto this acetate, and I just like to know that it's on there and it's not going to come off anytime. You can use your tacky glue, and it will stick, but I did have one that came unstuck, so I just, where I can, if it's not anything filigree, then I will use some super sticky. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly the same as I did on the front, apart from put my fingers in it. I'm just going to pop that into place on the back, press it down and find out where those ends have gone. There's one there, and then there should be one on the other side. And I think that it's not brilliant, but it's about as good as I was going to get it. That is absolutely terrible. But we're going to hide it under here, and I might put something on the back to hide that little edge anyway. Okay, so now we can go on to our normal glues. That's because the tails went under. Right, shall we have it this way or that way? We can have it this way, it's going to be fine. Right there. And that's okay. So what I'm going to do is just try and hide that edge. Is grab this border. Actually, let's grab this border because it's the one that comes with the topper. Okay, that's going to work. So I'm just going to cut this down to 2 notches under the 4, which is the same length as the mirror card was. Now hopefully if you're copying this you'll put it on straight, so you won't need to do this. I'm just going to use a bit of tacky glue just going to hide that edge. We'll just make it look like it's nice and even. And I think that looks better than it did to my eye anyway. Okay, so that is the back done. Obviously if you want to put a sentiment on there, you can do. Okay, so let's move on to the decorative part. Obviously I only need to put glue at the bottom here, so just going to pop a bit in the middle, and if you're not sure you can just pop it onto there. It's going to give me a little bit of wiggle room time, so we can get that where I want that to be. Okay, so that is there, and then we've got sentiment, so let's have a look and see where we want to pop those. Move you guys out of the way. So we've got driving home for Christmas, season's greetings across the miles, wishing you a really wonderful Christmas. I think I'm going to go with this season's greetings across the miles, because I've done a smaller card. I don't really want the huge sentiment on there. And we can decide where we want this to be. So I can either go in there, on there, or across. Kind of feeling like it should be in here. So let's pop I'm going to go with, so we just want a little 1mm pad. Let me just grab them. Oh, I know where to put them in a separate place because I'm using them again. There we go, so just a little 1mm pad, and I'm going to use my tweezers to try and get that in the right place. Just give it a good press down, and we just have to try and get the back off it. There we go. And then if I pop a little bit of tacky glue on that side there, I should be able to just pop that in. Just need that to go over just a little bit more. Come on. There we go. I think that is where we need it to be. Okay, so that is that card finished. So that is our double mini. If you wanted to, you could just come along here, cut off these trees and just have the car. That way you'd see more of it behind. I think if I was doing it again, I probably would just cut those trees out, just have the parcels and go across. And you would see more of it, but yeah, it's just a little bit of a card idea. Inside you still would be able to put your sentiment in there, although it might be a little difficult for someone to write on. It might be worth just popping it a tag attached, or you could put the insert on the back instead. Okay, so that is card number one. Not putting any gems on that because I think there's plenty of decoration. It's busy enough as it is. So I'm just going to get set up for card number two. Okay, so for card number two, I thought I'd come in with this Christmas cheers. It's quite a long oval topper, so I thought I would go with a slightly different card size. So this is a card blank that I've made, and it's 6 by 8, so 6 across the top. It is a 10th fold and 8 long. So if you're cutting it from one piece of card, you need it to be 16 inches long. And then you can obviously cut the 6-inch off. Okay, so let's bring in the trimmer. So I can't use my card squares on this one, so I've got to bring in a piece of gold mirror card. So the foiling on this kit is gold, or on this topper is gold. So I'm going to cut that down to 2 notches under the 6. And then if I take that little leg out, I can do 2 notches under the 8. So let's have a little look and see how it fits on. So it fits on quite nice. I'm going to pop that back over there. And then the base, the printed card layer, it's got this lovely sort of Christmas tree branches with baubles on the right hand side. So I'm going to keep that. So I'm going to cut this piece down to 4 notches under the 6. So obviously we've got this to use as a topper elsewhere. And then 4 notches under the 8. So that's also 7 3/4. So 5 3/4 by 7 3/4. And then that should fit onto there quite nicely. So I don't know if I'm going to have it. Yeah, it's going to have to be that way. It is one way up. So I don't need anything else, I don't think. So let's go ahead and put these layers on. So I'm just going ahead with my memory card. So all purpose in the middle, a little bit of tacky on those corners just to keep them down. And then just popping that on, keeping it a good press down, make sure that glue makes connection. And then again, same thing with this one. Now, I was toying with the idea of using a bit of ribbon with it. If you do want to use ribbon across this, then it's probably best to do it before you do that. I would glue this piece to the gold, do the ribbon, and then glue that to the back. Okay, so that's where we're at the moment. Okay, so let's grab our topper, which is huge. I'm thinking I want to use the sentiment, which is cheers to you this Christmas. And I might want to use a couple of these corners. If I do, I'm only going to be using 2. So let's pop those out. I've also got 2 lovely borders there. One says cheers and one is like the branches again. So we'll leave that for now. Okay, and then we can see how we want this to go. In something fairly simple. Might just put one of those on. Don't think I want it in the other corner because it's hiding the tree. No, just going to do one in that corner. Okay, so I'm going to put this one on flat, so I can use my all-purpose, a little bit of tacky, just get that pretty much in the middle. And I'm going to put this one down flat as well, just put a little bit of tacky on there. That's it. So I have gone a little higher up, so it's in the middle-ish this way, but a little higher on the top so that I can pop that in at the bottom. So let's bring in the decoupage, and I think I'm going to use most of this. Maybe save 1 or 2 pieces for that other one. So let's have a look. I'm going to use all the big pieces. Pop them out. It doesn't want to come out. So 1, 2, and 3. Just being a little bit careful because of those wine stems. Don't want to break them. I'm going to leave those for the other one, and then oh, that's attached, so I can't take that, so let's have that one instead. And that one, and then I'm going to leave those bits for the other one. Okay, so let's just get those in order they need to go. So it's that one and then that one. So it's just got a bit of more brown here. So let's go ahead and take all of these off. So this bit doesn't make a very good video, I'm afraid, just taking bits off. I think that's why maybe the Decolarge videos aren't so popular, because there's quite a lot of peeling the backs off. But if you haven't done it before, then it's, you know, there will be someone out there that wants to watch it. Okay, so let's just pop over, line it up with the bottom, make sure our glasses are right, and pop that in, and pop these bits out here. So these glasses are starting to come forward now. And the idea with decoupage is that the sort of pieces get smaller as they get closer to you. So it gives you that sort of feeling of perspective, I suppose, is the word I'm thinking of. I think decoupage, you know, from when I started to now, it's just come on so much. There's so many die cut ones now. There used to be hardly any. In fact, I think I've got like an A4 lock and lock box, which is about, you know, probably about 12, maybe 14 inches high, full of decoupage that you have to cut, fussy cut. Really ought to see if I can get it to go through the scan and cut and use it, but it's finding the time sometimes. It's just, even though I've got not much to do, it's by the time we've got up and done a few things, it's time for bed again. I don't know where this month has gone. We're already on the 9th. It's 2 weeks to Christmas. It's like, blimey. There we go, so nearly there. So just a couple more bits to do. It's not too much. These are nice big pieces on this one. So if you haven't done these before and you're a little bit nervous, this is perhaps a really good one to start with. And build up your confidence with it. Bordeaux wine, Côte de Blaze, is it? It looks like Côte de Bordeaux wine. I don't know if that's a real bottle. Maybe somebody out there will know. I mean, obviously I know there's a Bordeaux wine. I used to fill up the shelves in Tesco once upon a time. Well, it wasn't my official job, but when they were short staffed, we used to all have to muck in. I used to prefer doing the freezer myself, filling the freezers. It was always fun, especially in summer. Right, so for this one, so that's all the decoupage done. So what I can do with this one, because I've got that height there, I can go a little higher with my foam pads on that one. So I'm going to grab, she says, not those, There's companion ones which are escaping from me. Oh, we'll just go with this one then. This is a Hunkydory strip 2mm. We'll use this one. I got some things from China today. I've been playing with hot foiling on my days when I don't craft. I think I did show a couple of the bits that I did before on Hunkydory cardstock and stuff. And Hunkydory cardstock really does foil really well. So I don't know why I'm surprised, because obviously this is all foiling, but you know, with it being a home foiling, I didn't know if it would, but it does foil really well. So I ordered a couple of plates, some more plates with a cute font on, Christmas one. So I'm going to have a play with those tomorrow. So you might see those coming up, especially since I was asked about doing some ideas for little books. So I'm going to do that. I might do it next time or the time after. But I've also found, I don't know if any of you have tried this, that the pages on the little books also do foil very well. So if you was wanting to do just a really simple card with let's say for example a gold layer and some gold foiling on, the actual top page, you know, you could do, and then do like a set of notelets. Yeah, they did those pages. I can't show you because I did do it on the wonk, but it might be something I do, because I did do a video back when I started, because mum wanted me to do. She said that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to know nobody knows what to do with these little books. So I just put them on a card. So I did a couple of ideas back, so that's probably about nearly 2 years ago. No, yeah, maybe nearly 2 years ago. So that is there in the archives if you want to go and have a little look. But I will come up with some new suggestions as well. So I've got to go back and watch that video to see what I did first of all, and then I can do some different things. Okay, so all I've done there is just taken some of those gold mirror gems that I love, just put a big one there. Actually I should do another one because that's an even amount, isn't it? So we can't do that. Let's put one down in this bottom corner as well. Let's go with a smallish one, and then that's 5. Ooh. I'm nearly not going to do anything. It's not going to look any better or any worse, but I just like the odd numbers to be on there. 3, 5, 7, 9, 13, whatever really. Okay, so I think that's just a little bit not quite straight. I think that's all right now. Okay, so let's bring back in that other card we did with the mini. So those are the 2 little ideas that I had for those cards. If you wanted to with this one, you could do maybe, let's see how wide that topper is. It's about 4 inches. You could do maybe a 3.5 by 8 and then have these edges coming over. It would still have to go in a 4 by 8 envelope. But it's just an idea. They have done similar things on Hunkydory Hub, so if you ever want, you know, get stuck for ideas, then there's my Pinterest, which has got I think it's got about 350 Hunkydory cards on, some better than others because it's been since way before I started making videos. It's like probably maybe 8-9 years worth of cards, but not everyone's gone on there. I did stop for a while, I think I did say before, But yeah, there's 350 ideas there. So some, like I say, some are better than others. Some is just there as a serving suggestion so that you can take it further. There's always places you can go from where I've started out, do you know what I mean? And that's sort of the idea of my videos, really. Okay, so what I'll do is I will put pictures of these up on Pinterest. I will also put them up on Facebook. And so they are there if you want to go and have a little closer look at them. If I don't do little books next time, it will be the Gnome Sweet Gnome one, because I did already start prepping some bits for that, but I really would like to get the little books done because somebody's asked, and you know, I do like to do, you know, try and make it interactive as much as I can. So I will do my best to do that next time for you. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good weekend. Hopefully you'll get lots of crafty time in, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.